Please, warm round of virtual hands for Jo Evans with what our club success plan looks like.
Thank you so much, Rick. Actually, we've decided to call this one Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plans. So that's our title for this one. And I'm very aware that for some of you, these two terms, Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plans, will be totally new, whereas for others, they'll be a little more or even very familiar. So whichever group you belong to, I hope that this is a useful, relevant session as you all start to plan for your great upcoming year for your club. So basically, the Distinguished Club Program and the Club Success Plan are two useful tools provided by TI that work together to help you with goal setting, tracking, planning, and celebrating success in your club. And importantly, especially for those who've been Toastmasters for a while, we want to talk about them today because as from July the 1st, which is only a few sleeps away, when you start your new exec role, there are some very important changes to these two tools. More about that later. So I'm going to start with the basics of the Distinguished Club Program, then go down into more detail, and then we'll talk about the Club Success Plan tool, and I'll show you a brief video about how to access it. I hope that all sounds good. So let's start with the Distinguished Club Program. Quite a mouthful. I'll probably be calling it DCP from now. Now, of course, we want our clubs to be successful, and so does Toastmasters International, TI. And one of the ways they do this is through the DCP. Essentially, TI collects and tracks data about each of our clubs and then provides us a report, enabling us to see how we're going in these four areas, which are the club members completing projects and pathways? Are new members joining? Are our club officers attending training? Well done to all of you who are here right now. And are we doing the basic admin to look after our club effectively? All four areas, super important and key to us having a successful club. Now, here's the fun bit. To encourage us to really take an interest in this data and to inspire us to keep making our clubs as good as we can, TI has created a kind of incentive system. So there are 10 goals for these four areas, and if we achieve 5 of these goals at least, and we fulfill some membership number criteria, and also a brand new criteria related to club success plans, more about that later, then we have the opportunity to become a distinguished club. That, in essence, is what the DCP is all about. So let's now have a look at one of these reports. TI is created for a club. Now, this happens to be my club, Parkville Toastmasters, and we tend to call this the dashboard. So this is from a few weeks ago. So this is the dashboard leading up to June the 30th. So this is not next year's because this will be cleared on July the 1st and start all over again. But I'm using this. Now, I've got one question for you all. So if you could get your fingers on the chat, but not press enter yet. My question to check we're all on the same board is how many goals has Parkville achieved so far? And or another way to look at it is how many ticks has Parkville got so far? So can you type in the number, but don't press enter yet. How many goals or how many ticks has Parkville got? And then in a minute, I'll press go. And then can you press enter? Are you ready? Go. Oh, no answers here? Or am I not seeing them? Yes. Fantastic. So how many? 8. Thank you so much. I had the wrong chat open. All right. Thank you so much. Now, after the training, some of you might want to go and find your club's dashboard. I'm just going to quickly show you a way to do that. But please don't do it now because we're busy here. So in the next screen, you will see the easiest way probably to find your club's dashboard is to go into Google or a search engine and type District 73 dashboard. Then up will come one of the answers. And then when you click on that, that will take you to the District 73 for your club, and you can just type in the name of your club to find it. But I'm just asking you, please don't go there now, because I need you all for this session. Right, let's go now a little bit more deeply into the DCP. So I know I'm going to be sharing quite a bit of information. So if you want to recap anything later, as Graham said earlier, this session is being recorded and it will be available on the D73 YouTube site to watch. And we're also going to give you a QR code at the end to lots of great resources. That will include something like the Distinguished Club Program booklet. So there's some great resources there that you can have a look at. So Graham, you're able to click to the next one. So that's one of the things that you'll get that will in the resources. So if you want to go deep into the Distinguished Club Program, there's the booklet. Now, what do we need to do as a club to achieve these goals? So we're going to look at the 4 sections. We're going to start off with the education goals. Okay, so here's the education, and you can see that that has 6 potential goals, or as I like to think of it, 6 points up for grabs here with this one. So when you look at your own dashboard later, if you haven't seen it, you can have a look at how your club is going on their education points. Now, Graham, if you're able to highlight the white column, that gives us the number of actual goals we're trying to get, where it says like 42211. So the goals that you have to get are in the white column. Graham, you able to show that one or not? Yes, perfect, thank you. So those are the goals you get. So in the first line, to get goal number 1 for level 1 Pathways Awards, we were aiming for 4. Could you just type in and then wait to press enter? How many has Parkville actually got so far? So we're aiming for 4. How many have we got so far? Go. Perfect. We've got 3, which is why we don't have the tick yet. Yeah. Then if you go further down, level 2 awards, we only needed 2 of those. We have got them. More level 2 awards, not yet. So as you go down, you can see what are the criteria you need, how many of them you need. So for the example, level 5 and 6, goals 5 and 6, you only need to get 1 because it's a level 4, a part completion, in other words, a level 5 or a DTM award. If you get more than you need, for example, for goal number 6, like we have at Parkville, we got 2 path completions. You don't get any more points, sadly. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. So that is the education ones. So that's where you need to be encouraging your members next year to finish their pathways. Not only that, sometimes you'll find members go, oh, I did the speeches, I did my projects, all good. And you'll be saying, did you go into pathways and actually mark it off? Did you then mark off your level as complete so that the exec can approve you? That's what we all need to be doing, because otherwise Toastmasters International has no idea that people have actually completed their goals. So, any questions about education goals? Okay, let's go on to the next session then, which is about membership goals. Ooh. I shall jump to this one. Yeah, I think, has that? Oh, that's it. So there are the membership goals. Now here, how many goals or how many points can you get for membership? Can you type it in and then wait for me to say go? So how many goals or points can you get for membership? Go. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. Yes, 2. Now, the next bit is, but how do you get these 2 goals? So for each of them, you need how many new members for each of those goals? Can you type that in? How many members for each of those 2 goals? Go, go, go. 4. Nice. Now, the ideal, but goodness, every club is different, is to perhaps aim for about 20 members if you can, because that means the club can work really, really well. But if your club doesn't currently have 20 members, or you're struggling a bit with membership, you can see in the next screen, there are some great resources already on the District 73 Toastmasters website. And there are in there some videos and things. So Graham, can we look at the next screen, please? So this is one. So on the D73 Toastmasters YouTube, you've got some talks, and there's a great one that was recorded talking about building membership. Right, now what I would really love now is, could you all just have a think and share your ideas in a little bullet point form? Were there any strategies that your club has used this year or even previously that have worked really well to help get new members? I think this would be a really nice time to share any ideas. So we did this at the other online thing, and there were some great ideas for us all to learn from each other. So was there a strategy that your club used that helped with club membership? Please type them in, and I'm just going to read them out loud. Massive social media engagement, meetups, social posts, advertising on Meetup, wearing badges at the District 73 conference to promote our club, open houses, word of mouth. I think we forget that one sometimes. Social media, attending local expos, social media lived experience. That's lovely, isn't it, to think of it? Free food, yes. The Hills had a table at the Volunteer Expo at Emerald. Community Expo, thank you so much. Just keep coming with it. Just trying to kind of really share different ideas that we can have from each other. Yes, and then the very practical ones, like following up really promptly after guests attend, having a buddy system at a meeting, and community radio. Thank you to all of you for those ideas. So I hope you just kind of absorbing different ideas, because this is what Club Officer Training is all about, which is about sharing ideas. All right, let's just now move on to the goal 9 on this dashboard, which is the training goal. And I want to say to you all, well done, and thank you to all of you for being here today, because by attending Club Officer Training, of course, you're not only staying up to date with the Toastmasters procedures, you are actually helping your club towards getting a DC point for goal 9 for the upcoming year. So if we just look at this dashboard here, you can see that if we look at the training, now there's actually only one goal, 2 criteria. One goal, 2 criteria. Now, there are 2 lots of Club Officer Training every year. So we are now in round 1, which is the June and August one. So it won't go onto this dashboard, but as soon as the new dashboard comes in, if you've had 4 or more of your club members in here, you're kind of halfway towards getting that point. But it's not just about points. I know I'm sounding like I'm a bit obsessed by like points mean prizes. It's also because coming to Club Officer Training means that people learn what to do, hopefully get inspired by other Toastmasters, and make connections with other people. So if we just look a little bit more at that, Club Officers trained, yes, so 4 each in the 2 rounds. Okay. Any questions about that goal, about Club Officers coming to training? All right, let's go on to the final goal, which is the admin goal. So we zoom in on that. So here we have, again, just one goal, 2 criteria for it. Yes, one is that membership renewals are due they're due and they're on time. So I'm just talking about that first line for a second. Do people, could you just type in, don't worry about go, just have a go. Do you know when the 2 lots of 6 monthly renewals are for Toastmasters? When are the 2 lots of renewals that we have? Or when do we start again? That was a not clear question. When do we start? So March is 1. Yep. Thank you. So the end of September and the end of March. So the end of September then leads to the October to March 6 months. And the end of March, we pay for April to September. Ideally, members will pay early so that the treasurer can get their fees in on time, and at least 8 to be paid by the end of March and the end of September. Thank you, Diane. You've been very precise there, the 31st of March and the 30th of September. And then we want to try and get them straight to Toastmasters. Thank you. And the last one is the club officer list on time. So what you've all had your club elections, that's how you're here as execs. Someone in your present exec needs to go on to Toastmasters International and put in your names. There's the example for Parkville. Can you see there are 2 tabs? The yellow tab is on to the upcoming year, July the 1st of 2025 to June the 30th. You need to let Toastmasters know this by June the 30th. Who is the exec for next year? To make sure that that has happened. Otherwise, that second part of goal 10, sorry, doesn't work. All right. Let's go back now to the last part of this DCP and how it all works. Now, could you all take your eyes across to the right-hand bit of the screen, which is the goals box that has been enlarged? Now, just to remind me, how many goals has Parkville already got? You remember before I said how many ticks and how many points? How many goals have they got? 8, 8, 8, 8. Thank you so much. Now, let's look down. There are 3 levels of Distinguished Club. The first level is just called Distinguished. So it's Distinguished Club. Then, so to get that, how many goals do you need for a club to get the first level of Distinguished Club, which is called Distinguished? Beautiful. So 5. And actually, it will be 5 or 6 because it's not until you get to what number that you get to the second level of Select Distinguished. So what is the basic? Thank you. 7. So 7 or 8 points. And then if you get, what number do you get President's Distinguished? 9, 9, 9. So 9 or 10 will be thing. So at the moment, in theory, where might Parkville be standing with its 8 points? With its 8 points, where would we be at Parkville? There's something else we have to do, but with our 8 goals, where are we? Thank you. So we're a Select Distinguished. Okay. Now, can you now take your eyes to the top box? That's the membership. That's the third part of this for the moment, or second part for now. Let me just talk you through this box. Base 21. Base 21 means last year, by June the 30th, Parkville Club had 21. And we're always aiming to get 20. So we did it. This year to date, we've got 18, according to this. But required. How many more members should Parkville be going for so that it can get its required members and become a Distinguished Club? 222. Yes, thank you so much. There is also, just to draw your attention to, if your club is a bit of a smaller club, and last year the numbers were, say, the base was 12, you will see that in that box there it says a net growth of three members. So if a club the previous year was 12, they don't have to get to 20. They just have to have a net growth of 3 and therefore end up with how many goals? How many members, sorry. So they were on 12. They had to grow by 3. What would they have? Thank you. 15. Now, there are some changes coming for next year. So let's just have a look at these. I'm just going to flash this in front of you, and this will be in your resources. You can see the yellow bit is where the changes are. So distinguished. I'm going across distinguished. 20 members or 3 more than you had the year before and 5 goals. Select 20, now it has to be +5 and 7. Presidents 20, you can't have any net, it has to be 20. And then at the bottom, the new one, Smedley, named after our founder, Sir Ralph Smedley, 25 members, that has to be it, and 10 goals. So that's a really new fun thing they've introduced. One more thing I just want to introduce you to that's new is this. In the next slide, one final change which has not applied ever before. From July the 1st, the Distinguished Club Programme has a new qualifying requirement that the club success plan has to be completed and submitted by September the 30th. That's why we're going to talk about the club success plan in just a few minutes, because it's really key. I just want to do one more thing we do that, which is to briefly show you some of the extra and interesting information that you have access to in Toastmasters International once you're officially an exec member. So if this is your first time, this all applies from July the 1st. You'd log into Toastmasters International, click on Welcome by your name, and then my name, my home at the top. So you go into my home, and then you'll be taken to this page. Okay, now the top part, my education and achievements, you've always had. But now that you're on the exec, there's a second line, Club Central, Club Officer Roles, Club Officer Tutorials. Click on Club Central and you get to all this fascinating information. I love it. That's where you can go at the bottom for the Distinguished Performance Report, the dashboard if you want, or go through Google. Club Officer Assignment is where you go and make sure all the names are in for your new team. And the Club Success Plan is where you go there for what we're actually going to talk about now. So, Club Success Plan. Now, some of you have done Club Success Plans in the past. Some of you will never have done it, but it's really important that you know that we're all going to be doing it in the future. So could I just ask again, what is the date that we have to get our Club Success Plan in by? Can you pop that in? Yeah, September the 30th. Great. Now I've just got a question. Out of the group that are here in the group now, how many of you have actually done a Club Success Plan before? So can you just type in yes if you've actually done one before? Yeah, great. So a few of you. Hey, fantastic. Both digital and hard copy. Nice. Hey, that's really good. That is so nice to know that quite a few of you have already done this. Sometimes in the past it was just kind of on paper. All right. So in essence, the Club Success Plan, which we're going to look at in a moment, is the planning tool. It's a document. It's a tool on Toastmasters International, which is used by members of the exec to help bring everything together, all the planning for all those goals I've just been talking about, and other things, such as what are their shared values, what are their goals for the club, and they need to create an action plan for achieving them. And then hopefully that will lead to achieving all those goals, the DCP, and making a club as successful as possible. So we're just going to look now at a short video which is in the resources of someone just talking about how it all works.
Click on it. This year, Toastmasters has updated the Club Success Planning tool to be highly interactive and collaborative. This means all the officers can work together as a team to build the success plan. The Club Success Plan is broken down into different sections. We have the committee values, the administration goals, the training goals, membership goals, education goals, and finally, a list of your club members who are going to contribute towards this plan. If you are working in a corporate environment, think of Club Success Plan as a budget, something that we plan at the beginning of the year. We create goals, we create key performance indicators, and we set a list of actions that we must execute if we have to achieve our goals. We start with the committee values by clicking on the Start button here. The club officers should sit, discuss and agree on the values that they will apply during their term. We do have the core values of Toastmasters, which is integrity, respect, service and excellence. In addition to that, the committee can also agree on additional values that they will apply in executing their roles. Once there is a consensus, complete this section. You can agree on how decisions will be made and describe it here. Describe how you will resolve the differences if there are any, and fill in the rest of the sections. Once it is done, you can click on Save and Close. The section that has been completely revamped is the education section. It makes sense because out of the 10 goals that a club has to achieve, education constitutes 6 of those goals. Click on Start. If you scroll down, you'll find a section listing all your club members and the paths that they are currently enrolled. And most importantly, the levels that they have already completed in the previous years. These are marked with a gray tick mark. The levels that are not marked are the ones you can plan with your members. And
okay, thank you so much, Graham.
Here.
This video is only, I think it's about 5 or 6 minutes. I can see Graham has sweetly put the link to the video in the chat, but it will also be in the resources that we're going to give you the QR code for in a minute. So that's a really nice video you might want to watch with your exec team before you actually start doing the club success plan together. So it's not so hard now as it was before, because that's a lovely document you can save and you can come back to and you can keep referring to. So I think there's 4 really good reasons. Is the previous version of last exec team CSP visible too? Afraid I don't know that one. Hopefully it was downloaded. I don't know about the old club success plan. So, so 4 reasons why you should submit it. One is to get to be eligible for the Distinguished Club Program, you have to have submitted it, and by December the 30th. So that gives you a couple of months, isn't it, when you, in fact, 3 months, when you've started with your new exec to get that all done. The second thing is it's a lovely way to get your team to focus. It's a kind of reason to ask those questions. What are our values? How are we going to deal with things? How are we going to go ahead with the club? The third reason is that anybody in your club who anytime in the future is aiming to become a distinguished Toastmaster, they definitely have to have been involved in the creation of at least one of the plans. And I do hope, because of the new form being so much more sort of accessible and easy, that you'll come back to it and that you will find it really useful. And in the resource list, which we're just about to give you, there is a sample club success plan completed. So you can kind of see how it all works. So to finish now, I'd just like to remind you that a goal without a plan is just a wish. And here is the QR code for the resources. So if you'd like to have a look now, and click on it, Graham will also be showing it at the very end, I think. I don't know if Graham's going to show it now or later. I'm just looking. So are there any questions? I think I've got 2 more minutes. So any questions about any? I know I've
Jo, just Leslie here. Can I just mention to people who are on multiple committees, to hit your attendance goals for club officer training, you have to attend 1 club officer training per committee that you're on.
Yes, thank you for saying that. Whoever just spoke to us there, lovely. Yeah, really important for people to know that you need to attend, yes, 1 for each of your roles. Thank you so much.
The addition to that worth noting as well is that you can, the preference is to do it with District 73. However, if it gets to right at the end,
yes,
and District 73's finished their training, you can do it with another district.
Absolutely. And I believe District 73 is also running one in August, but I love that idea. Go to some of the other districts. I've done that in the past.
And if you do it with another district, it's a good idea to email PQD just to let them know you've done it with another district, because sometimes it's hard for it to flow through. And they can chase up to check that it flows through.
Nice. I've just seen that Tricia said if you're doing the same role in 2 clubs, then 1 session counts. I didn't know that, so that's good. So if you were like I am, treasurer in 1 club, treasurer in another club, you can just go for 1. Anything else?
Yes, sorry. I
You
was
want to
just
say your name
wondering.
and so we just quickly say your name first.
It's Laura Martin from
Laura, yes.
Guiding Stars.
Lovely, Laura. Yeah.
I was just wondering for officer lists, the due dates. What are the due dates for those?
June the 30th.
And for a club that does 6 monthly lists?
That I'm not sure.
No, then you have to have your new list in by December 30.
December 30. Thank you to
December 31, sorry. Leslie Shrude here.
Great,
Thank you. I love it. I love the sharedness here. Rick, I think that's it. Back to you.